So this question starts off by providing us with this equation here. Goes on to say the graph in the xy plane of the equation above contains the point A, comma B. So I hate when they do that. So obviously our equation is in terms of x and y. So we're given this point A, comma B, but really that's just an x, comma y, right? So really no need to switch variables here. So I'm just going to think of this as x and y. If -1 is less than or equal to a, less than or equal to +1. So the better way to read that is if a is between -1 and +1, which again, I'm going to read it this way. X is between -1 and +1, right? Because a is just the x value of this point. Which of the following is not a possible value of b? Okay, so a couple of things. I can plug these x values in to the equation and solve for y, because whatever y equals when I do that should be crossed out from this list of options, because that would not represent a y value that is not possible. Oh, and that's right. So value of b, really we're just saying value of y. Right? So I'm just converting all my a's to x's and all my b's to y's, basically. I could also, this also just like looks like something I should graph, to be honest. And when I graph this, I know some very important points here. I know my x-intercepts. Like I know that the way in which y equals 0 is if x were equal to +1, right? Because that would go there. If x were equal to -1, because that would make everything here 0. Or if x equaled -2, because that would also make y equal to 0. So I have x-intercepts at -1, -2, and at +1. And then the question says a, but again, I rewrote it as x. So x is between -1 and +1. So we only care about, I drew that line wrong. We only care about what's happening between these two vertical lines. So even this -2 doesn't matter to me. So I'd be curious to find out what happens at 0. What happens when x is equal to 0? So let's see what's going on there. So if x were 0, this would become -1. If x were 0, this becomes +1. 0, this becomes +2. -1 times 1 is -1, times 2 is -2. So that means at 0, the y value is -2, so we'd be down here, which means my graph is going to do something like this between these 2 points. All right, I think that's useful. So let's check our answer choices. Is it possible that y equals -2? Yeah, we just found that actually. When x equals 0, y equals -2, so that's got to be crossed out. Is it possible that y equals -1? Sure, like literally 2 places, right? Right here and right here. Y is -1, so that works. Is it possible that y equals 0? Yeah, at the ends, right? So use a different color. So on the actual x-intercepts, right? So where x equals -1 and where x equals +1, those are positions where y is equal to 0. Is it possible that y equals +1? No, not between this range, right? So we've already graphed and identified that everything between x equaling -1 and +1 is down here under the x-axis, and therefore choice D is the right answer because it's not possible for y to equal +1.